Just make sure that it's still good for you to edit. I'm just scared maybe like we're filming in the wrong dimensions or something, and I don't want us to film like 3 episodes until you notice. You know what I mean?
It says we're recording in
I feel like it's fine.
1080 right now. Which is right. I mean, we can, 1080p. That's it.
No, I meant not the quality. I meant the dimensions. You know how like Yaval's was weird?
Oh, that was because he was on his phone.
Okay, I just hope these cameras are the same and fine.
Yeah, I already tested it. Should be
Oh,
good.
okay. Cool. All right. Let's do it, baby.
Hey.
That's such a bad way to start an episode. Just a whisper of a hey.
All right, fine, right? I'm going to start it. What's going on, Sammy and Elevation Nation? Both Sam, but more so Elevation Nation, not Sam at all. Elevation Nation, what's up?
Hey, Parker, we're good. What's up
All
with
right,
you?
Sam, what's going on? I know Elevation
Hey,
Nation can't
Parker.
speak back on the podcast. That'd be impossible.
Maybe one day. What's up, brother? I'm doing well. It's beautiful weather outside. Grinding at work. Grinding out of work on Elevation Nation. Trying to live life. Getting better and elevating each and every day. It's fun, man. It's a good journey. How are you? What's new?
What's new? I don't know. I feel like New York is coming along. The weather is coming along, and it's really crazy. You get older, and you just appreciate the nice weather so much more. I will say it was beautiful on Sunday, and I walked outside. It was 65 and sunny, and it made me like believe in New York City again. You know, New York City's tough during the winter. You're kind of like, you know, in this small space, it's cold, you don't want to go anywhere because it's freezing, and then you realize, wow, the sun's out. Holy crap, there's a Starbucks down the road. I'm going to go pop in because it's nice out. It feels good.
That's what you picked? You're in New York City, and you picked Starbucks for your example as the cool place you want to go?
I'm just saying, you know, there's a lot of places you just like, oh, I'll go there. I'll just pop there. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, the sun's out. I feel good. I want to walk around. But I will say, there's a lot of damn people everywhere.
Hey, man, that's one of the pros or cons, depending on how you look at it, of New York City. And speaking of pros and cons, I think that's a cool way to segue into what we're going to talk about today, which is all about this concept we heard from a dear friend. His podcast will be coming out in a few weeks, Jordan Gross. He talked about this concept of every situation having a contradiction or the positive and negative side of it. He told an incredible story. It was a folklore, a fable. I don't know.
Well, you can't tell it now. You got to save it.
I won't tell it now. Exactly. I was going to say, you're going to have to listen to that episode when it comes out. But the premise of it was always not getting too high, not getting too low, and really being unsure of how situations might turn out. So I thought that was a really cool thing for Parker and I to talk about today.
Love it. Yeah, I think when he told that story, and obviously Elevation Nation, we are teasing this up like crazy. Like that episode, first of all, was amazing. Jordan's awesome, but it was just such an interesting idea. The idea that in life, there really isn't anything that I can think of that doesn't have some type of contradiction to itself. You know, whether that's hot, cold, white, black, good, bad. Like, it's hard to have something without the opposite side. And, you know, the way we spoke about it in our interview with Jordan was that when good things happen all the time, there's the opposite. There's the bad things that come with it too. So, for example, let's talk through this, Sam, a little bit, right? Let's say you wake up tomorrow morning and you remember that you bought a lottery ticket. You bought a lottery ticket for the Mega Millions, okay? And you look at the numbers, and McP, your roommate, tells you, wait, Sam, you should check out the numbers. You go, you walk into the room, and you look at the TV, and you're like, oh my gosh, I just won the lottery. I just won $50 million. You're going crazy. McP's going crazy. Everyone, you know, you're calling your mom. She's crying because, you know, you just won $50 million. And yeah, in your mind, life is amazing, right? You just won all this money. But I think on the other side, too, there could be a big negative that comes with winning all this money. You know, you got friends that you really don't think are friends coming to you for money. You're like, oh my God, what do I do? All this finances, it changes you as a person. And like the idea is that you have this amazing thing, but then there's also this other side that comes with those amazing things too.
You're absolutely right. And I think that's obviously an extreme example, but we can use that thinking in our everyday lives. There are some things that, based on our past history, how things have gone, certain events maybe in your mind are negatives, right? A rainy day, it's gross out. That's a negative. Or is it? There's both sides of the coin, and I think why this is so fun for Parker and I to talk about is it all comes back to your mindset, right? You can choose to be pessimistic about a situation, about an event that occurs to you, or you can choose to be optimistic. Although I will say, sometimes there's room in life for both. Sometimes it's okay to be a little down on a situation that happens. Sometimes it's okay to try to be optimistic in a situation that you know probably isn't great. It comes with a little bit of balance, and that's hard to figure out, but you kind of just have to maybe try both in the situation. So when a new event occurs to you, what's the good that's happening from that? What's the bad that could happen from that event? And how do you feel? And how do you stay level-headed and perhaps kind of ride that sweet middle ground between the good and the bad?
Yeah, I know we're obviously talking about hypotheticals right now. And for example, like you win the lottery, you won't see that like negative effect maybe until way down the road when you realize whatever, you don't, whatever. But let's talk about maybe like an event that's happening currently, right? That affects you on a daily basis. Like you wake up and you go downstairs and the gym is closed. Oh man, the gym is closed. Can't work out today. Oh, when I can't work out, I can't get into my routine and I can't feel good during the day. That sounds like a negative, right, Sam?
Totally. Yeah.
But I think there's also maybe a positive to that in the sense that, oh, okay. You could look at it as like, oh, my day's going to suck. Or, maybe I'll try a new way of working out today. Maybe I'll try like one of those at-home workouts. Or maybe I'll go for a run. Or maybe I will take that time and use it in a new way that I've never done before. And now you're taking that little small thing. Instead of taking as a negative, you're translating that into something that could essentially be positive. And I think we go through many times in our day where those little things happen. And we kind of just coast and sometimes let those things become negatives. But as you know, you and I like to talk about, it's the mindset. It's the way you approach the outcome of that situation.
Absolutely. And Parker and I are definitely not preaching to say that there are never sad times in your life or there's never times when you're down. I think those are important. Right? We sometimes try to push away our negative feelings and connotations and, press them down deep into our subconscious because we don't want to deal with them. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel not the greatest about certain situations. That's normal. We're human beings. Acknowledge that feeling. Figure out if this event is in fact something that you need to feel negative about. And if it is, own the shit out of it. Own it. Don't try to hide it. Cry if you need to cry. Write things down if you need to write things down. Express your feelings if you need to express your feelings. If you need to be sad, be sad. That's okay. But a lot of the times, as human beings, we think worst case scenario in our minds and jump to these horrible conclusions before they've even happened. And a lot of the things that we stress about, feel anxious about, feel sad or depressed about, are not necessarily events that we truly need to feel those emotions on. So I challenge us as Elevation Nation to take a step back with some of the everyday events in our lives that we get frustrated or upset about and say, is this really a negative or is this just a slight inconvenience? Can I push through this setback and turn it around or not? And sometimes the answer is going to be no, and own that. But sometimes that quick sentence conversation with yourself is going to change a potential negative day ruining event into one that doesn't matter. And I want to, Parker, leave people with this thought that just came to my mind. You know, that saying that they have around when you wake up on the wrong side of the bed and it just snowballs downhill, right? Like, that's not a coincidence. It's not like you're cursed for that day. You're now noticing and attracting that negative energy and that negative mindset to all the little things that probably on a great day when the sun's shining and you woke up and had a great morning and rest probably wouldn't bother you as much. But on days like today, when things, quote unquote, aren't going your way, you then focus on the negative.
How about let's focus on the positive? Let's flip the coin right now. I know we got a few more minutes, but let's flip the coin. I love what you just said, by the way, Sam. I don't even want to just like say, what Sam said, hey, push it away. Nah. We're accepting it and we're flipping the coin. There's so many times in our life where amazing things happen. Awesome things happen. We celebrate. Things are amazing. You know, maybe you won an award or you got a raise at work or you got, a new friend or I don't know. Someone gave you a Diet Pepsi on the street and you were hoping for a Diet Pepsi. I don't know. It could be random as that.
This is a Diet Coke household only. Mick Partland knows that, of course.
Okay, fair enough. But I think also from that perspective, when we have the highs, the great things, we're all encompassed by those great things. We kind of like love to take all of our energy and just suck it all in, right? But sometimes it could be difficult because of all this great success and amazing things that happen to take a step back and like really appreciate it because it's eventually going to go away. And I think sometimes it's hard to realize that those things do go away. And that's what makes them amazing. So it's like on the other side, it's kind of using that mindset too, is like, dang, I just got this massive raise. I'm going to enjoy this now because maybe in 2 weeks it'll just feel like normal again. So using our mindset to just take a step back, have that self-awareness is so critical on both sides of the coin, I think.
I want to add on to that, Parker, because I love that thought of being optimistic and positive. And this other side, this happier side of the coin, how can we as Elevation Nation pass on that positivity to someone else to impact their day, their week, their month? Right? If we're having a fantastic day, we're feeling things are going our way, it's, good vibes all around. How can we pass on that feeling to other people to maybe turn around their negative day, to turn around the negative events that keep happening to them? Are there ways we can do that? Is it giving food to a homeless person, listening to what their name is, where they're from? Is it holding the door open for someone because they haven't interacted with a human in a long time because of COVID? Is it calling an old friend or family member that you haven't talked to in a while that you maybe have been neglecting a bit? There are a lot of small things that take very little effort on our end to turn someone's bad day into a good day. And so if you are fortunate enough to be having one of those damn good days, share the wealth, share the love, see who else you can help and try to turn their day around as well. So with that, I think it's time for Parker's perspective. Parker, do we have anything on the ups and downs of a day from you? What do we got?
I don't know. I think it's hard to, because these conversations just go like one way or the other or like whatnot. But I got a good quote. Maybe you can relate it to our conversation or maybe not. But I like this one. This was a nice, simple one. I like the really short ones. I think they're fun. This is said by Goethe JW. I have no idea who that is. GOETHE space J.W. And that person said, I don't know if that's a man or a woman, everything is hard before it's easy. That's the quote. Everything is hard before it's easy. I love it. I mean, that's what it's all about, man. It's overcoming that fear to try new things and go out of your comfort zone to try those hard things so that one day, you have that experience, you have that understanding, you have that expectation, and then over time that becomes easier and easier to do. And, it becomes the norm. And then what's great about elevating, Sam, is that now the new hard thing is obviously difficult, but you try again and it becomes easier over time. And then you're stacking and you're building and you're elevating. And then you're along the way, you look back, you're like, dang, I accomplished some pretty hard things that were difficult for me at some point in my life. But now it's just like waking up every day and it's part of my life.
Ain't that the truth, baby? Elevation Nation. With that said, check out our episode this week with Zach Novoselsky on being a D1 athlete turned entrepreneur. We'll talk to you next week. Peace.